everyone. Welcome to Be an Artist. I'm here with Anula Kolakowska today. Hi, Anula.
Hello, hi.
So you're a tap dancer, a tap studio owner and choreographer in Warsaw, and you run a competition school at your tap school. Can you tell us a little bit about what your path was when you just started your journey in tap dance?
hmm I started to tap when I was 8, so I was really a small kid, and it was actually an accident. It wasn't my dream to tap. I was just dancing in different dance schools, and my parents met my um, later my teacher. So actually, my first tap class was like I didn't even know what it is exactly, and it's tap dancing, and I fall in love with it. And that's how I started. I was tapping with a group of friends for years. And we were performing, we were taking part in championships as a group, as a duos and solos. And I really loved it. It was my hobby, my passion, maybe even. And with I think when I was 16, it was first time when I was teaching because my teacher couldn't teach, and she asked me if I could sub her. So that was my first time. I was really young, 16, and I had to teach, but it was a lot of fun and I enjoyed it. And I started to think maybe it's something what I would like to do, like to be more into dance. It wasn't just twice or 3 times a week additional class after school, but I realized I really like it. And I started to think to do more, to dance different styles, to do more tap. But in Poland, the tap scene was really, really small, and there were no many possibilities to develop and to learn. So I didn't have many opportunities. I was maybe sometimes traveling with my teacher to Prague because she's from Czech. So we were traveling for some workshops. But somehow I felt I'm not really doing a lot. I'm not really developing. There was no YouTube and many possibilities to travel for me. And one day I met a Czech guy here in Poland. He came for some performances in our studio, and he told me about Jason Samuel Smith. That it's a great tap dancer and I should take part in some workshops with him. And he told me he will be in Berlin. And this was a moment in my life when I decided, okay, I'm going to try. I went there and I realized tap dance is something totally different what I'm actually doing in Poland. And it really changed my life. And from that time, I don't remember how old I was, maybe 20 at that time already. I decided to travel more. I was searching for some workshops around Europe. I was traveling for some festivals, and actually at that I realized how tap dance is different, because in Poland I was doing more or less the same choreographies for many years, um, and and it wasn't really something what gave me satisfaction. So I actually quit the studio and I started to tap a bit on my own, but it was really, really hard being alone in this world, knowing that there is something more than just choreographies, but there's improvisation, there is a different style. And I think the moment which was the next step which changed my life, it was after I finished my studies in Poland. I finished psychology. I decided to go to New York just for dancing, like just to take classes in great schools, mostly tap classes, but also other styles. And I was free. I was after studies. I didn't have real plan for my life. I wanted to be a psychologist, but dancing was on the side, so I wasn't sure what I want. And for 3 months I was I went to New York, and I met Derick, and he became my first inspiration, and maybe not first, but big inspiration at that time of my life. So I was following him in New York and took all his classes and workshops with him. And I realized I cannot live without tap. So this was the moment I decided, okay, I wanna show people in Poland that there is something more. There's a different way of doing tap, and I came back, and I organized small workshops for people, only beginners, because there were not many people who wanted to tap. So actually, it was just workshops for total beginners. And actually, from that time, I created first small group of my students, of my own students. They wanted to learn more. And this was the beginning, actually, of TIP TAP, which is now my studio in Warsaw.
So it was quite an organic transition.
Yes, yes, and many accidents in my life, actually. Not really a plan, not a dream, but many accidents, and many people who I met in between were a reason to where I am now, and what I'm doing now in my life.
How long did it take for you to build the studio up properly, to go from occasional workshops to being a full-time studio, and how did you go about building your student base?
Hmm. Now my studio, I have my studio since 8 years, and I think the first 2 3, I don't remember now, it's in specific dates, but first 2 3 years it was like workshops, small groups, really small groups, so I couldn't live from that. So I was on the side working in different places, companies, and then after that I was teaching in the evenings, but it was still so small that sometimes I even didn't have enough money to pay the room, or it was just for that. So I decided, okay, I was 25, and I'm giving myself 5 years until I'm going to be 30, if it's going to work. So that was my plan, and going I was like planning step by step how to do it and how to make it bigger. So I was trying to perform as much as possible, to get to, I don't know, TV or radio or wherever, so people could hear about it, because it wasn't popular. It wasn't something what people were thinking to do. It was maybe more preferred to go for hip hop or other kind of dances. So first 3 years I was really working on the side, and then after that I decided, okay, I have to find a job where I'm not working too much, where after that I'm not tired, and I can really organize something on the side. And I started to organize also workshops with people from abroad. So taking someone, teacher from Barcelona, or from UK, to to show something more, because my level wasn't also very very high at that time. Maybe now it's also not very high, but so I think first 3 years were really difficult, and then I started to really concentrate on the studio. I had more students. um, it was there were many accidents, like people started to see me somewhere performing, or heard about me, or friends of my friends came to my classes. So it was like building on its own a bit. I didn't really buy any advertisements or something like that. So it went really slowly, but continuously, let's say. And after that I started to need another teacher. So I took the best student and asked him, okay, do you want to teach? So he started to teach,
Mm.
because there, as I said before, there are not many really tap dancers in Poland. Maybe now it looks a bit different, there are more, but at that time there were not many. So yeah, I think first 3 years were the really most difficult, and I had many moments, okay, why I'm doing it, it doesn't give me money, it gives me somehow satisfaction, but there were not enough people all the time, so it was really, really hard. But I was always thinking, okay, why I started it, and I started it because I love it, and I wanted to change it, and I wanted to create a community actually for myself. Maybe it was a bit selfish, but I wanted to tap, so I needed the people who will tap with me.
How do you balance those different aspects as a dancer, as a studio owner, as I know you're still taking workshops, so to a certain extent you're still a student, and also as like to run a competition team. That's a lot of different things you're doing at the same time within tap dance, but I think it's still quite hard to balance all those things now.
True. So sometimes my parents and my friends, they are saying I'm doing everything, like really, um, as you say, different kinds of work in my job, because I'm teaching, I'm choreographing, I'm organizing, I'm also cleaning the floor in the studio. So it's really, sometimes it's very hard, but with time, I think I also somehow not collected, but I have people who are surrounding me. Some of them are volunteers, some of them are working already now for me. So I have help, but still I have a feeling to that I'm doing too much, and I cannot concentrate really properly on some projects which I would like to concentrate and have more time. Mm, so mostly I'm of course teaching regular classes in my studio, but I'm also the owner of the studio. So I even call myself entrepreneur, because it's a lot of I don't know, paperwork and organizational stuff. Somehow I'm still managing. The studio is getting bigger, but I have already help, and without those people who are next to me, it wouldn't be possible. And as you say, yeah, that we are also preparing for the championships. I have groups who are taking part in championships, so it's also something additional rehearsals and all the planning during the year, when is which event. But I like it. I think it's not boring also for me, and I enjoy this different kinds of activities, let's say.
Can you talk a little bit about more about the competition? Because I don't think everybody's aware that there's tap dancing competition. What is the process like? How do you prepare your students, and how's the system? Is there like smaller competitions and they get bigger, or
Mhm. So in Poland, in Poland, this tap dance championships are very, very small. So we are additionally next to other kind of dances like hip hop, salsa. So they're huge events, and then maybe 2 hours just for tap dance, because we are not many tap dancers in Poland, and also not many people wants to take part in championships, because it's very, very specific. I would rather say tap dance is not a real form for championships. It's hard to to judge tap, especially in Poland, where those judges, they don't know much about tap. But there are people who wants to take part in it because they want to they want this goal, they want to, I don't know, to train more, they want to win. So I take my students there and I give them these possibilities if they want. And some of them, they are preparing on their own. So for example, when they do solo, they want to prepare it on their own, and then I'm just coming for a few rehearsals and helping them a little bit and giving some advice. And so it's their idea. But if there is a group, rather we have regular group rehearsals, sometimes with me, sometimes with another teacher from my studio. I have a group which is called TIP TAP Ladies, and this is a very, very nice example of women who are mothers. They are 40 something, 50, and they are just group of friends. They are not professional dancers. They are just having fun. And there is a specific category in Poland, and also in the World Championships, for them. So it's a bit specific, but very, very nice. And they are taking part in championships since years, in my studio, and they want to do it every year. And it's their goal in this year calendar, for them to train, to do a new choreography, to prepare the costumes. And I really like to work with them, because it's not about winning, it's more about the friendship, and this being together, and all this feelings during the championships, and this travel. So maybe it's a bit different than the real, not the real, but maybe it's a bit different than for a young 22-year-old tap dancer who really train a lot, because those girls are training maybe 3 times a week, so it's not really much.
And do you think that some a part of the magic of tap dance is also the community? Because I feel like there are certain dancers that you see all the time, like we meet all the time on workshops. There's certain dancers, no matter where you go, you kind of have the same base.
True. And I have a feeling that this tap community is very friendly, and there are very, like, we don't see each other for a long time, and we even don't talk maybe quite often, or even we don't write to each other. But then when we see each other, we have so many topics, and there is a specific connection. And this, I think, this kind of dance is taking people together, and we don't have really, like, we don't have, let's say, fights in the dance. Like, for example, when we dance together, we challenge each other. So we don't have, like, yeah, you say fights, I don't know if it's the right word in English. You don't have this contra something, but you challenge it at each other, and you talk to each other with the rhythm, with your feet. And I think tap community is like we say sometimes, tap family. It's like a family.
Could you ever see, because I know you spent some time in Barcelona at Escola Luthier, could you ever see something like that happen in Poland?
I wish I wish one day there will be tap scene so big as in Barcelona. There are so many great tap dancers, and I wish one day it will happen. And actually, this is something what I would like to really, not create, yeah, maybe create. Like, I'm trying to give as much possibilities for my students and for people in Poland to take part in workshops, festivals with great dancers, and taking them here to Poland, to Warsaw. And um, and I see already a big difference during the last 8 years, while I'm having a studio, because I see people, they really like it. They want to come on their own to the studio during the weekend, and just to train. And these are not people who will do it professionally in their life, but they really, it's their passion, it's something in their life what is important, and very often it changes their life. So they are having new friends, sometimes they are even getting married, or there are many situations which give me a lot of satisfaction, seeing those people being a friend, and wanting to spend time together, and also tapping. So I hope, maybe it's not going to be like Luthier, because Luthier in Barcelona is really professional school, professional program for tap dancers who wants to do something later professionally with tap, being a dancer, or being a performer, or being a teacher, different ways. But maybe I would like to try to do something similar, but at least I would like to have as many good tap dancers in Warsaw as there are in Barcelona. That would be great.
completely different subject. To be an artist, for some people, everybody sees it differently. Some people see themselves more as entertainer. Some people think their art is activism, and they feel like they can really um, express what they stand for, their political views, really make a change in the world. For some people, it's more like a mix of both things. What does it mean for you to be an artist?
It means for me, I think, more to express yourself, but also to take part, to get to have a statement in different topics, and to show it in your artistic part. And so having something to say and showing it through your art, I think I don't call myself 100% artist. Definitely I am in a way, and this is artistic. It is art what I'm doing, but still I didn't have this possibility yet, and chance maybe, to really create something bigger, what I would, when I could say I'm a real artist. I feel like it because I'm creating choreographies and I have something to say, but it's still very specific way, because it's everything surrounded around my school and students. So that's also something what I would like to have in a few years, this time and possibility to create something bigger where I could express myself and and yeah, and create something like, for example, I don't know, for example, a show or a performance. But I think everyone who is a tap dancer and who is improvising is an artist at that time, because we are creating our own rhythms, and also we are expressing our emotions, feelings, what we want to say through our sound, through our rhythm in the heart. So so that's what I, regarding your question, for me it's really expressing yourself. But regarding myself, if I would call myself artist, not yet 100% in my way of thinking about it.
Mm-hmm. How is the government support for the arts in Poland? Are there funding opportunities, or are there private funding opportunities for projects like, for example, shows?
There are such projects from the government, and of course, it's possible to get money for that. It's not easy because there are many people who would like to create a show, to make a concert, or I don't know, write a book, or different ways. So I'm trying, not very often, but I'm trying once or twice a year to write such formula. This is a project, actually. It's not just a formula. You have to do a lot of paperwork to try. But unfortunately, until now, I never got anything. So maybe it would be also this I don't know, I don't have a word in my mind, this click where which would push me to really do something. Because of course it's about the money, because I have ideas, I have even my plans in the computer written already down a bit, what I would like to do, and what and how and with who. But it's the matter of money, of course. And projects is one thing. Sponsors are very hard, I think it's very hard to get sponsors for such things, especially nowadays in this kind of um, time in the world. But generally in Poland, I tried many times to get sponsors for different tap events, and it wasn't easy, because also the scene and the people who are interested in it, this is a very small group of people. So potentially for the sponsor is also not very interesting,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. As an artist, I can try to get money, but as a studio, not so much, for example, because studio is already a business. It's like a company. So for companies, you don't have it. It's more for foundation or for single artist. or for a group of artists. So always when I'm writing those things, I'm writing it as me, as Anula. So it's not as a studio, but it's not easy.
What inspires you?
Mm, inspiration comes for me definitely in the last years, mainly from music.
Mhm.
Mm, I'm listening a lot of music and different kinds of music. I'm trying to listen more jazz in last years, and this inspires me a lot. And for example, when I have to do a choreography, definitely when I feel the music, it's the biggest inspiration. So I
Mhm.
prefer to choose the music on my own than to get a music from someone and being asked, okay, can you do the choreography to that? Because not always it's in my heart and in my body. So music I would put on the first place, definitely. But second is definitely these are people, people, other dancers, and people who are surrounding me with whom I'm talking, and they have totally different view and ideas than me. So I'm trying to watch videos of other dancers. We have so many now social media where we can see what other people are doing, and you think, oh, this idea is cool, and this idea. So you combine different ideas from other people and put it into your own idea. Um, so other people and also my students, I have to say, and very often during the class when they do mistakes and they change something because they don't know how to do it, suddenly I look at them and I think, wow, this is amazing. I would never think about doing it this way, and it was his mistake, but it became a great idea. So I'm really trying to observe my students during the class and during rehearsals and during jams when they are improvising, because everyone is different, so everyone has a different rhythm, and there are many great ideas. So people definitely, and I'm trying to I have many tap dancers friends, so we talk mostly about tap and something what is in the community, and exactly the new projects, who did what. So this talking with people about it is also very inspiring.
Mhm. Where do you see yourself in the future?
Where I see myself in the future.
Mhm.
Mm, a hard question. But I would definitely see myself here in Warsaw having still TIP TAP, and I hope we will survive this pandemic time, which is really not easy. So for now, I'm really thinking about surviving this time, and having still the studio, because it's hard for everyone. But I'm having a big place and many people and many teachers, so really I would like to survive this time. And after that, if it's gonna be better and we're gonna be somehow back to the times we had 1 year ago, um, I would like to develop the studio, because for now we have mostly tap classes and Broadway jazz classes. So I would like to have other forms of dances, and I would like to have a bigger studio where people really can tap and come whenever they want and practice on their own. So I mean, having a bigger studio means also a bigger building where we have these possibilities. Even though now I have really nice one, and but hopefully in few years it's going to be too small. And I would like to. I have this dream about making a show. I have an idea, not even only one. So I would see myself not doing anymore so many things in the studio, like this administrative things, organizational things, teaching, rehearsing, and everything, but maybe more concentrate on other projects. So it means having more teachers in the studio, so I don't have to teach so much, for example, and I could concentrate on other things more. And I think this is for the next 5 years the plan. But I will have the opportunity generally to stay in the step community and the step world regarding my job, because I know even though if I'm gonna stop doing this business, or let's say I'm gonna stop having the studio, I will definitely tap until the end of my life,
Mm-hmm.
maybe more as a student. But for now, I would like to do it professionally, because it gives me a lot of satisfaction and I see people enjoy it, and I think I really do it well. And I have this, I don't know, I have this opportunity, and somehow I can connect people and create this tap community in Warsaw, which is growing, and I think it's beautiful. It's something what I really wanted to do. That was the goal of mine this 8 years ago. So I would like to continue this definitely. And one last thing, I think, as a plan, or maybe what I would like to have in the future, is having more tap dance in Poland, in the media, in the TV shows, in the TV series, in the dancing shows, where we have so many dancing shows, like everywhere probably in the world, but tap is not there.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something what I would like to see in few years, to see more tap in the media.
All right. Thanks so much for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me.